Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. This is all about Week 13 of the NFL season and the waiver wire acquisitions for the running back position. Now, if you're new to the show, if you want only just to go to the waiver wire acquisitions, just look in the timestamp below, click that hyperlink, and it'll take you right to the waiver wires. But if you're, want to see the rest of the program, here's what I do. I quickly break down the projected top 10. I look at who actually scored in the top 10. We do a little bit of analysis and commentary on how that should relate to your waiver acquisitions now and for the rest of the season. Then I give out my awards for this week in the running backs. I have the Kicked in the Nuts award. Somebody got me right in the nuts. I want to hear if somebody got you in the nuts as well. We might have the same person share that same person, but I love to hear it. I always love the comments, so please comment below. And then I also have the I'm Watching You awards. Somebody caught my attention, so they should be on your radar as well. Once again, before we start rolling this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. We need your support to grow. We'd appreciate it. But let's just get rolling here. The projected top 10 according to ESPN coming into Week 12 in order: Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, Tevin Coleman, Ezekiel Elliott, and Chris the Fumbler Carson. He's not the one who kicked me in the nuts, but he should be for a lot of owners. It's a bummer. He keeps putting the ball on the ground. Now, who actually scored in the top 10? The ones in white were the ones that ESPN got correct in terms of projecting the top 10. So they actually did pretty well this week with respect to what they usually do. But Derrick Henry, Fournette, McCaffrey, Chubb, Penny, Williams, Kamara, Elliott, Jones, and Devin Singletary. Now, I'm surprised Jones snuck in there. He started the game pretty slow, but volume will get you there. Rashaad Penny, I see him on a lot of people's waivers lists. Spoiler alert, and the waivers are coming later. He's not on my list. He got the bulk of his points on one play. And Carson puts the ball on the carpet every now and then, but he always gets the carries because he's better. He's just the better running back. Seattle is not going to go to the promised land with Rashaad Penny as the primary ball handler. I just don't buy him. I think there's better value out there. Jonathan Williams, we need to see how long Marlon Mack's going to be out, but I like his value. I think that will be a trend going forward. Devin Singletary, I've been talking about him since this program started, so I'm glad that 70 to 80% of the people out there own him. If by some chance he's out there, get him, for crying out loud. He's fantastic. And Ronald Jones, he's going to be up and down as Tampa's up and down in the offense. But let's talk about my weekly awards. This is my favorite award, the Kicked in the Nuts award. I always say somebody kicked me right in the nuts, whether it's daily fantasy, whether it's gambling, or whether it's fantasy football. And somebody got me real bad this week. It was Jalen Samuels of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's bad because, I looked at this projection with Pittsburgh, and I knew that, playing Cincinnati, that the main weakness of Cincinnati is up the middle in the passing game. So I knew James Washington would have a decent game, and he got in the end zone. And then running the ball. So I thought, man, Jalen Samuels with the short passing game and running the ball, he's going to have a fantastic game if James Conner's out. Well, James Conner was out, and lo and behold, Benny Snell gets all the carries. Samuels is basically just MIA the entire game. What a bummer for everybody that rotated him in. It was such a great matchup. That was one of the biggest nut kicks of the year. I got to be honest with you. It was that was speed bag nut kick right there. It was brutal. Now, who actually got on my I'm Watching You award? Now, this is Benny Snell. Same reason, same game. He took the carries away. He actually looked really good, I thought. I think he's going to be a little bit of a risk or a liability for James Conner owners because he looks so good, I thought, and I think he's going to be taken there, so he's going to be on my waiver list. Now, speaking of, I actually have this week for running backs. There are weeks that have been very thin. I like a bunch of them this week, so if you're looking to fortify your roster, I have 9 actually this week that I think are worth picking up. In order, my personal preference, here's how I would rank them going into the waiver wire at this point. Number 1 is Jonathan Williams for obvious reasons. I think he gives you the biggest bang for the buck now. Same with Benny Snell. I like him. The only problem is the Pittsburgh Steelers. First of all, they have James Conner kind of looming back there in the backfield. Secondly, they don't prefer to run the ball. They prefer to throw the ball. Darius Geis, just based on volume. Chase Edmonds, he's been shifted. He had that hamstring issue. He was questionable. They've had the bye week. Is he going to play next week? I don't know, but I think he actually is the preferred back for Coach Cliff Kingsbury there, and I do think he is a threat to David Johnson's job and Kenyon Drake's carries as well. So Chase Edmonds, I think, should be stashed in the midst of this injury, and I think the acquisition of Drake, he's actually fallen off a lot of rosters. There was a point where he was owned in 80% of the leagues out there. Bo Scarborough, he had his second straight game of getting decent carries for Detroit, but I view Detroit's backfield as volatile, kind of like a Patriots or Philadelphia Eagles backfield. Who's going to receive the most touches might change from week to week, but Scarborough looks pretty decent now, I think. Darrell Williams, I think, is worth owning. Don't love him. Same with Jay Ajayi. Don't love him, especially once Damian Williams and Jordan Howard come back to those rosters, respectively. Royce Freeman, I was surprised to see dipped under 70%, so I wanted to include him on this list. And then Jamal Williams as well. I like him because he gets volume with Green Bay week to week, so he's more consistent. But I would definitely focus on the top 4 to 5 players there. But those guys are going to be gone in more savvy leagues, so if you really are scraping the bottom of the barrel, there still is some value out there for you. So there you go. That takes me through my Week 13 fantasy football fallout. Once again, if somebody kicked you in the nuts, I really want to know about it. Please comment. Please like and subscribe to this channel as well. Please help us grow. We need your support to do that, and we will catch you on another episode soon. Thanks for watching.